Howdy, my name is Christian, and welcome to the Academic Peer Mentor's Guide to Midterm Management. So, it's midterm season, you're stressed, you're anxious, you're not really sure where to go or how to even begin tackling these monstrous midterms. Well, fear no more because we've got you covered. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to create a plan, how to study, and how to really be successful on your upcoming midterms. So we can boil this down to a 4-step guide. First is going to be make a plan. Then you're going to want to determine your studying methods, seek extra help, and then finally take the exam. So throughout this video, we're going to detail each of these steps a little further. So of course, first and foremost, you're going to want to make an A+ plan. So first, determine how much content and time you have to study. Then review a chapter, lecture, or section, etc. a day. So this could be one chapter, maybe two. It really depends on, of course, how much content you have and the time you have to do it. Then you're going to want to save about 2 days before the exam to holistically review everything all together. So, for example, let's say you have 4 chapters and 6 days to study. So you're going to want to comprehensively study a chapter a day through day 4. And then on days 5 and 6, review everything all together. So really those first 4 days, when you go through each chapter in detail, you're going to really want to study and make sure you really understand the content. And then on days 5 and 6 is really just a review to make sure you get everything all together. So you can also break this up by, say, lecture. Let's say you have 5 days to study and you have maybe 8 lectures to cover. So perhaps maybe you can study 2 lectures a day and then say the day before the exam to review everything all together. Whichever way you can break down your class best, you go for it. But at least save a day or 2 before the exam to review everything all together. So once you've made a plan, next is going to be to determine how you're actually going to study. So, of course, this could be a little different if we're talking about STEM or liberal arts courses. So for STEM courses, you're going to want to rework example problems, learn formulas, create a summary sheet, maybe even flashcards, and also work past exams if they're available. So the 2 really important ones in this, in my opinion, are to create a summary sheet and rework example problems. Example problems are typically very similar to what you're going to see on the exam. So rework as many as you can and make sure you fully understand them without having to look at the solution itself. In addition to that, creating a summary sheet is super helpful in pretty much any course you might take. In a lot of STEM courses, you will be able to have a cheat sheet, quote unquote, during the exam, and that's where the summary sheet comes into play. But even if you can't have it during the exam, just the act of creating the summary sheet is a huge help and will really help you study for this exam. And then, of course, it's a great study material into the future and even later on towards finals. So then, in the case of liberal arts courses, a lot of these courses are much more maybe essay heavy or writing intensive, in which case you're going to want to really take your time on You're going to really want to take your time on these essays, write several drafts, and get a fresh set of eyes to look at these essays for you. Once you've written a draft, a lot of times fresh eyes will be able to catch mistakes that you won't, just because you've been looking at the same thing for so long. Also, flashcards for memorization can be very important. So this particularly comes into play when we're talking about courses maybe like political science. Flashcards could be super helpful. Also, highlight notes and summarizing the key points. And this goes for readings as well. Highlight, summarize, and boil down big chunks of information into really the important facts. And then lastly, again, of course, create a summary sheet. So on the summary sheet, you can put those key points that you summarize further, but put them all into one page, all nice and neat and organized. And those tips right there can really help you study for these different types of courses. So once you've determined your studying methods, you're going to want to seek extra help. So I have a few of these helpful sources here, and that includes tutoring, office hours, SI sessions, APMs, and there's so many more, but these are some of the big ones here at Texas A&M. Of course, shameless plug with the APMs right there. So first and foremost, tutoring. Now, if you actually search TAMU Study Hub on Google, it'll actually take you to the Academic Success Center's website, which has all kinds of tutoring for every class you can imagine. And it has the tutoring times and dates and where they are and all that good stuff. And it's all on that website. So I highly recommend you check that out. You already pay for those services with your tuition, so you may as well take advantage of it. Also, office hours. Your professor's office hours are extremely helpful no matter which course you're in, because you can typically ask certain questions and get a better idea of what kind of content's going to be on the exam, maybe what the best thing to study is, all that good stuff. Office hours are a great time to kind of find that out. Also, SI sessions are super helpful. Now, these are typically led by maybe your TA or your peer mentor in your course, and so they can really help you prepare for your professor's specific exam. And again, you can typically find those SI session times on the Study Hub website. And then lastly, of course, shameless plug, we have the academic peer mentors. So you can actually meet with one of us one-on-one, and we can sit down with you and really help you make your own study plan or help you with whatever it is you need help with. And it's a much more personalized experience, and I highly, highly recommend you take advantage of that. So once you've sought out extra help and you've been studying and you're sticking to your plan, lastly is going to be, of course, take that exam. So yes, this can be very stressful, especially if it's one of your first exams, but you just remind yourself that it's going to be okay, right? One exam is not going to make or break you, even though it may feel like it sometimes. I totally get that, but trust me, you're going to be okay. Get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water, eat consistent meals, stick to your studying plan, and you're going to be just fine. When you're in the exam, I highly recommend you do some sort of breathing exercises, especially if those kinds of situations really stress you out. Breathing exercises can help a lot. Maybe even take something like a fidget toy if that helps you. Whatever it is that helps you the best, run with that. That's all college is about, is figuring out what works best for you and running with it, and really finding your path towards your success. So if you stick to these steps and you take that exam, hopefully you'll be able to ace it and you'll feel much better along the way. So that's our guide. Beat the hell out of midterms. We believe in you. And please do reach out if you need any help whatsoever. We have several mentors that are ready and willing to help you with whatever you may need. You can find the link in the description to our website, as well as the link to register for an academic checkup. And please do so, because we can definitely help you with anything and everything. Thank you.